know that is trying the job markets in the US, the UK, and Canada. Anyone that you know that is trying to break into tech, but they don't know how exactly to go about it, okay? And how to leverage their experience, their years of experience from whatever career path it is that they want to make their transition from. So I want you to share the link to this session with them, and let's get everybody on this call because it's going to be a wonderful session. Now, I'm going to introduce myself in a bit, but before I do that, I want to get to know you first. So kindly put your name and where you're joining us from in the chat box. I'll be watching. Just put your name and where you're joining us from. Are we shy? Okay, I see Daniel from Lagos. I see Peter from the UK. I see Tina from the UK as well. Oh, perfect. I see Bukola from the UK. I see Osas from Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, we have Scholastica from Kenya. Nice to be on this call with you here. I see Andrew from Ghana. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining this session. So like I said, please share the link to whoever you think is going to benefit from this session at all. So I'm sharing my screen right now, and this is the material I'm going to use to walk you through how to getting into the tech space. Now, if you stay with us till the end of this session, you get access to the slides and the recording of this session. And during the course of the session, my colleagues are going to be dropping a link to the attendance form. So please ensure that you fill it and add your email address, because that is how we'll be able to send these materials across to you. Okay, let's get right into it. Let's have a brief introduction. Who are we at Analytics, and how do we do what we do? Analytics is a leading edtech company focused on providing specialized training in technology skills and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. With almost 5 years of experience, we have been able to build talents for the technology workforce, and we have been able to help over 2,850 professionals with zero prior knowledge in technology into their first job in tech across the various regions like the UK, the US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and Asia. Now, we're committed to making the technology sector more accessible to us Black, people from the minority group, through premium experiential training in 8 premium courses: data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management and Scrum Master, cybersecurity, and finally, AI engineering. Now, we have a team of wonderful instructors from leading global companies. I'm talking PwC, I'm talking McKinsey, I'm talking Amazon, from Microsoft as well. And they bring a wealth of real-world experience and are dedicated to delivering an engaging, practical learning experience that ensures you receive the maximum value from your investments in the future. So who is this person that has been speaking to you for the past, 5 minutes? My name is Elizabeth Nana, and I am a product manager and senior agile project manager here at Analytics with half a decade of experience in products and project management. I'm an agile coach, and I have successfully guided over 1,000 individuals with no prior agile experience in making a smooth transition into project management. My experience spans across multiple sectors like the health technology sector, the financial technology sector, and the educational technology sector. And I've been able to apply my knowledge of agile methodologies to help businesses and teams scale. With me here today, I have my CEO, the CEO of Analytics, Chukwuemeka Ekpa. Chukwuemeka is a dynamic technology consultant with nearly a decade of expertise in GRC and strategic consulting. As the CEO of Analytics, Chukwuemeka has transformed the career trajectories of over 1,950 individuals with no prior tech experience, empowering them to secure their first jobs in tech. Now, he has a very rich portfolio of experience that spans across financial services, capital markets, hospitality, and edtech, where he has excelled in different roles such as GRC specialist in banking, head of control in the fintech sector, data analytics innovator in the fintech sector, as well as business growth consultant in the hospitality sector as well. So now let's get into the crux of the matter. What are we doing here today, right? I am going to be walking you through understanding the job market, how you can leverage your past work experience from whatever career path it is that you want to transition from into tech. Then we'll walk you through how to get started immediately. We'll show you some of the in-demand career paths for 2025. I'm going to show you some success stories. I'll show you professionals that were able to transition into tech with zero prior knowledge. And if they can do it, you can do it as well. And finally, our special discount offer to you and our upcoming cohorts, right? So we have, a lot of people on the call today, and I'm sure on this call, a lot of us has been able to complete, our basic education. I'm sure some of us here are, PhD holders or even master degree holders, and we have been able to, over time, build up on some skills, some of these skills that tech recruiters are looking for all over the globe. Let's take communication, for instance. We have at some point or the other been in roles where we have had to communicate with stakeholders. Let's take experience in teaching. You have had to interface or communicate with your fellow teachers. You've had to communicate with the school management. You've had to communicate with your students, even the parents of your students as well. And these people are what we refer to as stakeholders in the business. So someone like that can very easily thrive in a career path like business analysis, right? When we talk about, leadership, we talk about teamwork. You see that your church committee that you have been in charge of, that you have been able to organize, you've been able to manage people. That is you, being a leader. That is a skill that is very valuable. When we talk about teamwork, being able to work in a team, we often say, oh, teamwork makes the dream work. That is something that is also an in-demand skill. That is a skill that people are looking for. Tech recruiters are looking for. It's an in-demand skill. You have been able to develop, your critical thinking skills, your problem-solving skills. You're able to manage your time and deliver tasks as at when due. That is also a skill tech recruiters are looking for. And you see that last part, right? Knowledge of specific industries, like finance, HR, or healthcare. It is very, very important. You have knowledge of those specific industries that you're coming from. If you're coming from the banking sector, you have knowledge of the fintech industry. If you're coming from, the HR sector, you have knowledge of HR administration. You have knowledge from, the healthcare sector. You have been working, you've spent the past 8 years of your life working as an HR administrator. You've spent the past 16 years of your life working as a nurse. You spent the past 10 years of your life working as a teacher. That is priceless knowledge that these tech recruiters are looking for. So don't fret, because you can use it as your advantage. You can use it to your advantage, and you can build up on it. Now I'm going to just show us the quotes, just walk us through the quotes very quickly. It says, your past work experience is not a barrier, it's a bridge. The skills you have built in one industry can become the stepping stones for you in another. And that is what we call transferable skills, right? What skills do you have? What skills do you already have as an individual that, you're coming from your educational background or your previous work experiences that you can leverage in the tech industry? For example, someone that has worked in HR before can leverage skills like people management, can leverage skills like process optimization to build careers like, to work in careers like business analysis, to work in careers like data analytics, agile project management, or even HR analytics. Now, let me show you the LinkedIn profile of someone that has taken the cybersecurity program with us, right? You can see right here at the top, he started the cybersecurity program with us 7 months ago. But you can see that right before he left Nigeria, he has worked at a couple of jobs, right? And what we helped him to do was to identify transferable skills from those jobs that he worked at and how you can, build upon that to work as a cybersecurity analyst. So here, his experience at Kudu Creative, for example, we're able to identify that he used AWS, meaning Amazon Web Services, to perform a task. And that is what we were able to build up into being an AWS security solutions architect. Right, let's talk about his experience at Wilson James. Right, we noticed that he did something related to security event monitoring, and this is also something that ties into cybersecurity as well. So we're able to position him and, just position him as someone who has been in the cybersecurity space for, since 2019. Anybody looking at this profile, that's what you're going to think. This is a cybersecurity expert. He has been in this space since 2019. But what he just did was to leverage his past experience from where he was coming from and build up on it to look like a professional with years and years of experience. Let me show you another profile. Just like the previous one I showed you, this one is a data scientist. And he started, taking the data science course with us 7 months ago, August 2024. And you can see his previous work experiences where you have data analyst, investment analyst, and junior data analyst, just coming from all of the years of experience that he has built, places that he has worked. We're able to identify tasks or, skills that a data analyst would have, tasks that he has performed using skills of a data analyst without even knowing, right, that he was a data analyst or he was doing anything related to data. And then we've been able to help him position himself. Now we can comfortably call himself he said he worked as a junior data analyst at Ultimate Cyber Cafe and Institute of Computer. He worked as an investment analyst at Vicabo Global Business Limited, as a data analyst at High Compact Carriers, and finally as a data scientist here at Analytics. But one thing I want you to take note of is the fact that this here, August 2024, was when he actually started to take the course in data science. But if you're familiar with data science here, you know that, anybody that, works as a data scientist can also work as a data analyst as well. So he was able to build up his experience up until that point. Now let's look at one more, another person, a data scientist and data analyst as well, that started at Analytics 1 year and 7 months ago. The same thing. He was able to leverage his past work experience, right? Look at this one that says Youth for Technology Foundation. I don't know what that is, but he was able to pinpoint, skills or tasks that he carried out in that role that, is related to data science, is related to data analysis. Also, when you talked about, being an agriculture officer, talked about deep learning, then we move on to data analyst and agric officer, right? Where he leveraged skills in data analysis as well. And finally, as a data scientist or data analyst. Now, why am I showing us all of this? It's just to show you that you can actually leverage your past experience, right? From whatever sector it is. I mean, this person is coming from, I don't know what sector this is, but this person is coming from like the agric sector, right? Where he was able to comfortably transition into being a data scientist by leveraging all of those little skills that he has picked up over the years. So that is why I say, do not throw away your past work experience just yet. Do not do that. This is the strategy that over 2,000 professionals have used, and it has worked for them. So why can't it work for you? Let's look at some success stories from this year alone, from just 2025. You see the snapshots. We started 2025 really strong here at Analytics. This is a snapshot. This is a chat from a participant from one of our programs reaching out to us to say, hello, Priscilla, Happy New Year. So you should know that, that happened this year in January. And she says, I am overwhelmed, but with good news. I have interviews. And I want you to focus on this. I got the job. And we have so many other people like that. This is a snapshot question for a reference letter. Now, if you're a professional coming from the UK or the US, you know, is for companies that you're applying for, these huge companies that you're applying for roles at, they want somebody to be able to vouch for your integrity. They want somebody to be able to say, I know this person and I know that this person can do his job well. So that is something that 10 Analytics would also provide you with. We'll provide you with reference letters, because it's not just important for us to, you know, just take you through the course. It's very important for us to also help you land your first tech role. I'll just look at another one. This is a
Hi, everyone. I think we lost Elizabeth there. Please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. Hi, everyone. Please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear in the comment section. Okay, yes, fantastic. So I'm going to pick it up from here. So what Elizabeth is trying to walk us through is a couple of people that have been able to make this same move that she's trying to also show us what we can also be able to do. So your experience before, maybe you're coming from Nigeria, you're coming from Ghana, you're coming from South Africa, it doesn't mean that you have to throw it away entirely, right? It simply means that you have to package it very well and be able to utilize it in your own work experience or applying to your other jobs. Now, one major misconception that we always have when looking for a job is this. We always have this mindset that you need UK experience, you need Canadian experience, you need US experience for you to land a role. But what recruiters are looking for is that you need to have an experience. And I'm going to ask us a question. We know this lady, the World Trade Organization president, I'm trying to remember her name, I think Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Yeah, she moved from being a minister in Nigeria to being assigned to perform a role in WTO. And from there, she grew to become the president. Now, did she have the experience of all the countries in the world before she became that president? Right? Did she have the experience of all the countries in the world before she became the president? The answer is no. But she had an experience. And this is what recruiters are always looking for. You need to make sure that you have an experience for you to be able to go for a role. So I want us to have this on our fingertips today. Even if you don't take anything out of this session, make sure that you grab that. You need an experience. She had a UX experience, fantastic, Grace. But did she have a Kenya experience, or did she have the experience from Brazil? Okay, so the ideal thing there to explain to you is that she is the World Trade Organization president, and she doesn't need the experience of each of those countries for she to perform on that role. Okay, for instance, today we might be in Brazil, we might be in Australia, we can be in Malta, and the same Excel that you use in Malta, the same Excel that you're going to use in Nigeria, the same Power BI you use in Brazil, the same Power BI you're going to use in Canada, the same SQL you use in France, the same SQL you're going to use in South Africa. Now, the difference is just in the language of installation. Now, for all the other career paths that you know out there, there's possibility of even requirements for a regional-based experience. But when it comes to the tech industry, it is a global skill. And it's also a global village, like we always tend to call it. I know a couple of people that are still in Nigeria and they're working for amazing companies in the US. I know people that are in South Africa and are working for companies in Canada. Now, this is to tell you that all you need is to build yourself very well, have the experience that you need, and apply to the roles. Now, one major misconception we also have is we've applied to a couple of roles without having the necessary skills. And because of that, we felt, oh, it's because I didn't have UK experience. That is why I was not able to get that role. Okay, now we always look for a way to justify what we are doing. Okay, we always look for a way to do this, and that is where references and recommendation letter comes in. Now, here in Analytics, we also walk you through everything that you need. Like Elizabeth was explaining before she dropped off abruptly, you can see from her screen a couple of people that this year have been able to make this same move also. Okay, so we've started this year strongly also. Can see a company, I think there's Jardines, sent a request for us to provide reference and recommendation letter for a student. Now, these are things that recruiters want to see. Now, it is not just about you moving to get the skill. Oh, I know how to use SumIf, I know how to use Average, I know how to upload something on Power BI. Do you know how to utilize them with respect to working on a project? Okay, do you know how to use them with respect to working on a project? Because that is where the major task is on. Today, you can know how to use Excel, but do you know how to use it to work on a project? Okay, so recruiters want to know, have this person actually worked on a project before now? So we're also there to provide references and recommendation letter to certify that, oh, Chukwemeka has done this before, Elizabeth has done this, Carlo has done this, Miriam has also done this. Okay, can see what the question was. Hi, we hope this email finds you well. We have been provided with your details by so-and-so, who has been offered the role of people partner pending satisfactory references. We would therefore be very grateful if you could provide a reference for this candidate by clicking on the below link. Now, this message came from a company, I think in UK, right? Yeah, it should be in UK. And what they're asking is just to validate that this individual has been able to work on the project that she claimed to have worked on. Okay, now, a couple of weeks before now, a post also was made by the richest man in the world. I don't know how many of us that saw that post. So the richest man in the world made a post a couple of weeks before now. And what he said is simple. If you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build everything up, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you've worked at. Just show us your code. Right? So when we look at these tweets from the richest man in the world, what comes to our mind? Okay, so this is a question for us. We are free to put it in the comment section for me to also understand if our head is in this game that we're about to get into right now. If you saw this tweet before now, what came to your mind when you saw it? Let me gauge people that can also be able to think and also have understanding based on things that they see from their environment. Richest man have come to say, I don't care where you went to school. I don't care the certification you are coming with. I don't care even the company you've worked at. Just show me your code. What comes to your head when you say, okay, I can see a comment by Chievo Makumer. I'm sorry if I murdered your name. So she mentioned skill and experience. Eunice said skill, or Saze mentioned skills. Haga also said proof of work. Amazing. I like that, Haga. Proof of work. Sylvia mentioned the skills matter. Or Saze same thing, skills. And of course, Okojaja GitHub. I don't know what you meant by GitHub, but I understand that it's a place that we can always upload our projects for someone to be able to have access and view what we've done. Fantastic from you, Okojaja, which means we need a portfolio, all right? So a couple of people are dropping a lot of things. Portfolio, just result-oriented, skills, ability is what you can offer. Skill set, experience, and also evidence of work. Fantastic. I love all the comments that we are dropping. Now, here's my own question to all of us. Why are we still pursuing the certifications? Okay, so this is now a question for you. You may not be able to answer it, you can answer it after this call on your own. But why are we still pursuing certification? Now, certification is important. Don't get me wrong. It is very, very important. But it is just a validation of a knowledge that you already have. So if you don't have a knowledge and you are pursuing certification first, what are you running after? HP said, by law and code, it is required. HP, I can ask you to unmute right now for you to tell me the law and code that said that for me to work as a data engineer, what certification do I need? For me to work as a data scientist, what certification do I need? All right, for me to work as a data analyst, what certification do I need? Now, these are laws that are made by man, but it's not hard-coded into the system. I used to work in a fintech company before now, and my CTO, he didn't attend any university. All right, up to the level he became the CTO of the organization, he didn't have any university degree. It was towards the tail end of my stay with them that I had to go back to school to get a certificate. Now, right, but he got into the level of being the CTO, Chief Technology Officer of a company, without a degree. Now, this is to tell you that it is 100% possible, and the era of certification is over. Okay, the certification, not certificate. Okay, let me read a couple of comments to see what people are also saying. Okay, Bolande said, training will tell us right. Fantastic. HP, by law and code, it is required. I mean, I will send you my email so that we'll have a very candid conversation about this. And Okodjam also mentioned the certification, not certificate, is important depending on the organization. Okay, skills are key. Recruiters want to know if you can have hands-on projects. Now, if you are very, very active on LinkedIn, someone may have messaged you a couple of times saying, oh, do you want to take this certification exam? You don't have to do anything, just that day, sit in front of a system, and we are going to do everything for you from the back end. How many of us have had this experience before now? Someone just messaged you and said, oh, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to study anything. Just that day, be in front of your system, and we are going to handle everything for you from the back end. Okay, now if people have messaged me, that is the CEO of a company, for all these services, I also believe they've messaged other people for some of these services. Oh, don't do anything, just in front of the system, we'll handle everything from you. Do you think they've not also sent it to some recruiters? Now, recruiters also know that these things are happening. So what makes you think that they're going to just accept, oh, I have CISA, I have, what's it called, CNNA, I have CBAP, I have this, I have that, just bring him on board? There will definitely be a skill assessment stage, okay? There will definitely be a skill assessment stage, which is where your skill comes to show. So it's just like someone that wants to move a cart and a horse, all right? Both of them are important. The horse is in front and the cart is behind, and the horse is dragging the cart to move forward. Now, at any point that the cart now becomes what is in the front, there's no way the cart will draw or move the horse. So that is what certificate and skill is all about. Both of them are important. But in your quest to move forward, your skill is the horse, while your certificate is the cart that you are carrying. So, and for them, both of them to move, the skill needs to be in front and then gradually drag the cart behind. But at any point that you put the cart in front and the skill behind, you are not going to move. So if today you are still pursuing certificates without having the skill, you have to think it again, okay? Both of them are clearly important. But recruiters, even if you have all the certification in this world, so far as a tech role, they'll always do what we call a skill assessment for you. So I have a question for all of us on this call as well. You drive a car today and your car spoils, okay? Whom are you going to give your car to repair for you? Someone saying, oh, I'm a graduate from Harvard University, bring your car, let me repair it for you. Or the person that is going to tell you, oh, I'm a roadside mechanic, I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Benz, I've repaired Volkswagen, this is my mechanic workshop. Whom are you going to give your car to? The graduate from Harvard University, or the roadside guy that has a workshop showing you what he or she has done before now? Now, I guess this sums it up for everyone. Okay, Larry said mechanic even before I completed my story. Larry, have you been in my session before now? Okay, and a couple of people are saying experienced mechanic, Mbali mechanic, roadside mechanic, everybody roadside mechanic. Fantastic. Now, this is to tell you how the tech ecosystem also works. Recruiters know all these things, okay? And if you're not going to give your car to someone from Harvard University, all right? You cannot give your car to someone from Harvard University. You are giving it to the roadside guy because he has the experience. What makes you think that just your certification is enough for you to land a role? Okay, so it's very, very important that today we also have it on our fingertips that skills is what's going to drive you into the ecosystem. And like the richest man in the world have rightly said, just show us your code. So what you need to have is make sure you have your own workshop to show evidence of jobs that you've needed to do before now. And as someone that is looking to break into the tech industry, your workshop is your portfolio. So how many of us have a portfolio to show evidence of what we've done before now? How many of us have a portfolio to show evidence of what you've done before now? I'm waiting for people to answer also. If you have a portfolio, please feel free to say, oh, I have a portfolio. If you don't have, say, oh, no, I don't have. So that I can also tell you where most of our challenges are coming from. Now, I can say a lot of I don't have from Ibali, Sheila, I don't have, Praise, I don't have, Olobatan, I don't have. I think I saw one I have. Yes, it should be from Shelley. But every other person is saying, I do not have. Now, how exactly do you want to show evidence of your skill? You can easily mention, oh, while I was in Nigeria, or while I was in South Africa, while I was in Ghana, I worked on this role, I served on this project. Where is the evidence? So you need to have a portfolio. And I'm going to show us a portfolio for one of our past students so that you can also compare yourself with this person. If they're looking for a role and you also are looking for a role, who are you going to hire? This person or yourself? But before that, let me walk us through all the career paths that you should actually focus on. Because one major mistake that we also have is that we cast our net so wide that we miss what matters. Okay? We cast our net so wide that we miss what matters. So most important thing that you need to know, please, let's bring out our biro and paper. So what we always do at the beginning of every year is to scrape different job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs, CV Library, to assess all the jobs that are posted for that year, basically for UK, US, or Canada. But if you're in a different country, fret not, because all these three countries that I just mentioned are basically, what we use to test for every other company. Every other company wants to move to become one of the world best companies, and we always use US as the world power for now. Okay, so what we did was to scrape the different job boards that were posted in all these countries and analyze them using three basic metrics, and that is ease of learning, number one. Number two is ease of transitioning and also high rewarding salary. So number one, ease of learning. Number two, ease of transitioning. And number three, high rewarding salary. Now, for ease of learning, we are looking at how possible is it for you to learn this career path. You are trying to break into the tech industry. The tech stack you are trying to learn, is this something that is going to be easy for you to also get into, right? Ease of transitioning as well. Is there a career path that you have transferable skills from what you've been doing before now? Okay, you've been a teacher, you've been a driver, you've been an agriculturist, you've been different things. Do they have transferable skill into this tech career path they are looking to get into? And of course, high rewarding salary. All of us want high rewarding salary. That is very, very certain amongst all the career paths that you're going to see. So after we've analyzed all these jobs and passed them through these three basic metrics, we got all these 8 career paths that you can see now. And they are simply, number one, you can see the data. All right, just 1 minute. You can see the business analyst. Then next, you also see the agile project manager, that's the scrum master. And of course, your data analyst, your data scientist, your data engineer, your cybersecurity analyst, your financial analyst, and also HR analyst. Now, after we've got all these 8 career paths, we needed to validate these jobs. Will they be relevant in the next coming years? Or are they amongst the jobs that you can get into today, and by tomorrow, they will tell you, oh, DeepSeek has come to take away everything that you've learned. Okay, so we have to externally validate all these jobs. And what exactly do we do? Please, this is where I need everyone to pay maximum attention. Now, we looked at the World Economic Forum reports to identify what is going to happen in the next coming years. And from it, there's 3 basic parameters I want us to identify, okay? A lot of jobs are going to be created, and a lot of jobs will be lost. And all this is happening in the next 5 years. So in the next 5 years, a lot of jobs are going to be created, and lots of them are also going to be lost. But the most important thing I want you to look at is that 170 million jobs will be created. Okay, and out of all these existing jobs before now, 92 million jobs will disappear. Okay, I hope we are listening attentively. 470 million jobs will be created, 92 million will disappear. Now, if you look at this thing on my screen now, all this side on the right-hand side, these are jobs that are going to disappear. Now, this blue side are jobs that will remain stable, while this one in the green part are the career paths that are going to be created newly. So what you may want to do for yourself is to make sure that you remain on this green side, or at most be on this blue side, but never you remain on this red-hand side. Never you remain on this red-hand side, because if you are there, it's just a matter of time before AI or whatever is coming comes to take what we can do. Okay, so if you're still listening to me, please make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleagues Elijah and Oluwafumika are dropping in the comment section, so that you have access to this slide. When you get it, also look at all the jobs that is written there. Okay, make sure you fill the attendance form so that you have access to the slide and also to the recorded version of this discussion, so that personally on your own, you can go through everything that we're talking about and be able to assimilate it personally. Okay, so we also moved ahead to look at, okay, which jobs are the fastest growing ones? Now you can clearly see that the fastest growing job, I can't see the green side on my system. Okay, please, other people, did we see the green side that I was mentioning before now? Because Miriam just said that she didn't see the green side. Were we able to see the green side that I was highlighting? Fantastic. So Miriam, you may want to, maybe if you're using a phone, move to a landscape, or if you're using a laptop, it will be better. But if you're using a phone, change it to a landscape so they can see everything very, very well. Okay, so if you're joining with a phone, try to use the landscape position so they can be able to see our screen clearly. I'm happy that others saw it, did not see the green side. Now, this is the green side I'm talking about for people that did not see it. This is the green side. Okay, this is the green side. So each box in this World Economic Forum report represents 1 million jobs, right? Each box represents 1 million jobs. So when you get the slide, you can look through it personally. You can click on it, and it will even take you to their website to personally read everything that also happened. Okay, just fill the attendance form that my colleagues Oluwafumika just dropped, and also Elijah as well. Now, moving on, you see that the fastest growing jobs that we have out there at the moment, we have data engineers. Okay, now I'll tell you a little bit of background story. Okay, I'll tell us a little bit of background. I hope you like story, because I love to tell a lot of story. Last year, that was 2024, AI and machine learning used to be the number one. Okay, so last year we had AI and machine learning as number one. That's when we look at the last year, 2024 World Economic Forum report. But this year, and as of that last year, big data specialist was also number 4. Now, what happened within the ecosystem is this. 2024, there was a lot of activities around AI and machine learning. Okay, a lot of data were created, a lot of data were destroyed. Now, someone needs to be able to process this, store it, and make sure that they are available to anyone at any point that they need it. And that is simply the reason why the big data specialists now became the fastest growing jobs. Because we've created a lot of data, someone needs to be able to handle them. And that's why big data specialists now became the fastest growing jobs, because there are now need for people to be able to store and process and manage this data. But if you look closely in all these, how many jobs do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 fastest growing jobs. Can clearly see that all of them, excluding just environmental engineers and renewable energy engineers, and light truck and delivery specialists, okay, as well as autonomous and EV specialists, which means up to 13 out of the 15 fastest growing jobs are within the tech ecosystem. Okay, and it is very, very simple for us to identify this. This is going to tell you that the fastest growing sector of the economy is the tech industry. And you may want to be on that right side. Okay, of all the 15 fastest growing jobs, 13 or 12 rather are in the tech industry. Okay, the 3 that are not in the tech industry is just EV specialists, and we understand why EV. Everyone wants to drive a self-driven car, okay? And also environmental engineers as well as renewable energy engineers. So you can see simply tech sector and oil and gas. So you may want to be on the side of the fastest growing job that have the highest number, and that is tech economy. Now let's look at the entire report. So everything that you want to do, make sure that you are on this left-hand side of this report. So these are career paths that is going to grow in the next coming years. So make sure that you are on this left-hand side. While these ones on the right-hand side are career paths that are going to decline. These are career paths that are going to decline in the next coming years. Right? So number 1, like I've shown us, is the big data specialist. And then you have others. So you can clearly see that all those 8 courses, 8 programs, they are all fully identified. Now let's look at some of these courses that we didn't select. Let's have a look at these people within this segment. Okay, so we have the DevOps engineer, we have your renewable energy engineers, you have your robotics engineers, you have your blockchain developers. Now, these 4 career paths, definitely, remember the metrics which we used to identify courses to offer, the 3 of them, and that's ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and also high rewarding salary. Now, those 4 courses that we selected, DevOps engineer, renewable energy engineers, robotics engineer, blockchain developer, 4 of them, do you think that you, that is coming from a teaching background or from a banking sector, that you have a transferable skill to becoming a robotics engineer? Okay, now that is why we don't offer some of those courses. So they may not have, okay, you do not see DevOps engineer, fantastic. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, Charles. All right, DevOps engineer, robotics engineering, renewable energy engineer, some of those courses, the number of people that have transferable skills into them are slim. All right, and the ease of learning is also slim. Remember what we're trying to say? We want to make sure that the skill that you're coming from, let's assume you've been a banker, you've been a customer service person, you've worked in care, you've been a support staff, and so on and so forth. What skill have you developed there that can help you to break into the tech sector? Now, when you look at all those career paths they are coming from, you and I have to tell ourselves the truth. Do you have the skill to transfer into being a robotics engineer? I will leave you to answer that question. Or do you have the skill that will help you to become an electric vehicle specialist? All right. And then the ease of learning is not also existing there. So look at all this, and that's why we identify just this 8 career path as the one that anyone can easily be able to break into. Okay. But for these other ones that we are not doing, it is possible for you to get into it. But do you have the time? Right? Do you have the time? Because time is a factor that we also have to put in. All of us that is trying to break into the tech industry want something that within a space of 6 months, we should be actively in this sector. Now, if you're looking to be a robotics engineer, I'm sure you know that it's going to take you more than a year to become a robotics engineer. So when you fill the attendance form, please make sure that you go through all these reports and be able to identify the one that speaks to you. Now, let's look at the right-hand side. You can see clearly on the right-hand side, jobs like the first one that is going to decline, the fastest declining job across the globe that we have is this chemist and chemical laboratory. All right. And also we have your mechanical engineers and of course, architects and surveyors. Now, I recently helped my friend to move into an apartment, and this guy he was trying to design how his interiors is going to be like. He downloaded one app, and with just that app, he snapped his living room, and AI told him exactly how to arrange every single thing. Okay, AI told him, put this here, put that here, do this and do that. And that was simply it. He did not employ any interior designer to tell him what to do. So what you want to make sure that you are doing right now is you are moving from this right-hand side, because these are jobs that will decline in the coming years. You are moving from this side to this part of the job to make sure that you are covered. Because in the next coming years, 5, 10 years to come, these jobs on the left-hand side are going to be relevant, while the ones on the right-hand side are going to decline. I hope we are still following me to this very moment. Now, there are still other ones on the second page and so on and so forth, which is why we added the link for you here. Okay, so once you get the slide, click on this link and it will take you to the full report. You can look through it and be able to identify the jobs that are declining and the jobs that are also growing, so that you make sure they are moving from this right-hand side to the left-hand side. So clearly, let me identify one job for us. This is recruiters and technical recruiters. Now, this is part of the jobs that is also declining. Okay, and the idea is simple. As the CEO of the analytics, I'm going to be frank with us. Most hiring that we've done is simply go to LinkedIn, type in data scientist in United Kingdom, or data scientist in Accra, or data engineer in Nigeria, and it's going to bring out all these people for you. You simply headhunt and message them to have conversation. Now, this is how most companies are trying to recruit. And the reason why this is the fastest is one is that there is no finance involved. Simply, you've gone to LinkedIn, you've searched, and it brought out people that are amazing in that sector, and you've messaged them to have conversation to know how viable it is. Now, what companies are now looking for is people analysts. People analysts, and that's where HR analytics comes in. So whatever you are doing, you may want to attach a technical skill to it. Now, what people analysts now do is that they come into the company to be able to tell the management that, okay, this is what is happening with respect to the people that we have. Because I mean, if you know the way company works, you need 3 basic processes, 3 basic principles for it to function: people, process, technology. Right? So someone needs to be able to analyze the people as well. And if your core responsibilities, can we still hear me? Okay, yeah, I can see myself. Now, if your core responsibility is still around just recruiting and not having understanding of how to do people analytics, then you are also at stake. So you may want to attach analytics to everything that you are doing. I can see a lot of questions in the comment section. I may not be able to take all of them, but hang on. By the time I'm done explaining all the slides, I'm going to answer all the questions that we have. Okay? I'm going to answer all the questions that we have. What we want to do right now is to fill the attendance form, so that when I'm done, you have access to the recorded version, you have access to the slide, and then personally also validate what we are telling you. Because my word is not a bond, right? Make sure you validate what we are telling you for you to be sure and make personal decisions for yourself. Now, moving on also, one major mistake that we make most time is thinking that as a data analyst, as a data scientist, as a data engineer, as cybersecurity professional, that we are just stuck on all those headings. Now, we need to understand that inside all of them, there are different derivatives. Okay, if you are a data analyst, you can work comfortably as a business intelligence analyst. If you're a data scientist, you can work comfortably as a big data specialist. If you're a data engineer, you can work comfortably as an ETL developer. If you're a cybersecurity analyst, you can work as a vulnerability analyst. So I always tell people to make sure that when you are looking for a job, that you are looking for them using the skills that you have and not just the heading of or the title of the job. Because what it does is that it removes other possibilities for you. These days, companies are becoming very, very dramatic. I think that's the best word for it. For instance, something like HR, you can see some companies calling the HR chief of staff. They need a chief of staff. You can see some people calling their operations or business analysts that they need a change improvement officer. So companies are becoming very, very dramatic. So when looking for roles, make sure that you are looking for roles using the skills that you have. If you have Excel, SQL, Power BI, easy to look for skill and not just, oh, you're looking for a role as a data analyst, because you are just removing other possibilities for yourself. Okay, I hope we are listening to this very moment. If you are with me to this very moment, please feel free to type in anything in the comment section so that I'll be sure there are people that are still under the influence of my voice till now. Okay, if you're here with me, please type in anything in the comment section. I'll be sure that people are still listening to me. Okay, I can see Damaris, we are here. Bola, Sammy, why are you typing GGGGH? All right, that's fantastic. I always love to gauge that my audience are following my discussion. Now, also, what we also want to know, because this World Economic Forum report is actually very, very broad. Okay, it's very, very vast. If you can see my screen, you can also see countries that there is negative availability of talent with respect to the available jobs. Okay, you can clearly see that countries like Egypt, Morocco, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Tunisia, Greece, and someone should help me and pronounce this country. And then Colombia and the other one that I can't pronounce, can clearly see that they have positive value with respect to talent that's in that country being able to fill a role. Right? You can also see that South Africa is optimal, which means they have the available jobs they have is equivalent to the available talents that they have. But for the ones above, means that there are talents that is available, but jobs are not there to be filled. Okay, and then when you look down, you can now see countries that have negative value with respect to talents. All right, and you can see the first one should be Mexico, Australia, and then let me use our three most important countries again. Canada, of course, Canada is here. And where is USA? You can also see USA is here. Okay, clearly USA is here. And then where is United Kingdom? Where is United Kingdom? Okay, sorry, before we get to that. Have anyone seen United? Okay, you can see also on the last hand side, you can see United Kingdom. And of course, our beloved Nigeria. Okay, these are countries. Why I'm highlighting Nigeria is because I'm sure that at least 50% of people on this call were of Nigeria origin. So you can also see countries that have negative value with respect to talent. So if today you're in UK, obviously the availability of jobs are there. But the challenge now is, do you have the skill to match what they are looking for? Now, people always complain, oh, we said that there is vacancy in these places, there is vacancy, because that is what the World Economic Forum report is saying. And it's not my report. So what happens with the World Economic Forum is that every year, the world leaders, economic leaders come together to have discussion on several topics. And part of the topics that they discuss is the future of jobs. Okay, the future of jobs. Now, when you look at the future of jobs report, that's when you see all these things. You can clearly see that it's deficit with respect to talent and availability in all these places. So you may also want to make sure that you are in these countries that have high possibility of hiring. Okay, make sure you're in these countries that have high possibility of hiring. I know someone in Nigeria that today, this guy works for 3 companies and he's earning more than most of us that are not there. Okay, and it's also because of some of the immigrations that is happening. When people leave, jobs become vacant. Someone needs to also be able to take it up. So people take up 2-3 jobs now, and they're actually happy doing it. So look at this also. If you've not moved, if you're still thinking of moving, for you to be able to also identify which countries are also going to give me what I'm looking for. Okay? Which countries are also going to give me what I'm looking for? Matthew is asking, what are some of the career paths in the tech space that nurses usually pursue? I'm thinking about cybersecurity, but like, okay, I'll answer that question. All my explanation is going to answer it, Matthew. Trust me. If I start taking all the 300 and something people on this course question, I'm not going to finish my slide. So, but I'm going to explain it in due course, right? Moving on. I don't know how many of us that have heard or listened to the proposal made by the leader of the opposition, okay, and the conservative party. How many of us have read or seen the news about this? When I saw it, I was in between because it was I really don't know how to explain it, but how many of us saw that news? Okay, Mbalia said I have, Choma said I've seen it, Susan said I have. I'm sure that a couple of us have seen the news. Now, before now, okay, or as at now, what happens is that 5 years of work can easily get your indefinite leave to remain. Okay, and then once you're after your 12 months or so, can apply for your British citizenship. Okay, which means in a space of 6 months, 6 years rather, not 6 months, 6 years, you can easily become a British citizen. But the new proposal is this. Okay, for your ILR, which is your indefinite leave to remain, first, you need 10 years of work. Okay, and to apply for British citizenship, you now need to now work for under 5 years, which makes it a total of 15 years. So what we've been able to do in a space of 6 years, someone is now making it to now be 15 years. So this is not also to create panic, all right? It's just for you to also identify that the time to act is now, okay? The time for you to try to break into career path that should be able to give you what you are looking for. Ndukwe is calling, is saying, Buzz lady, that is going to give what you're looking for is now. Okay, if you're in UK, if you're a student or dependent, the time to upskill is now. Okay, and if you're applying to leave UK or you're in US or in Canada, you also need a competitive skill that is going to make sure that you remain very, very competitive in the market. Okay, and one thing that you also need to know is that, for instance, for companies to also give you, or for you to apply for, to get your certificate of sponsorship, you need an offer that has at least £38,700 to it. Okay, and some of the jobs that can give you that amount, which can easily enable you to apply for your COS, also lies in the tech sector. Now I can clearly see my screen. My goodness, I didn't know this. I'm in Duke. Oh, Damaris, you are new. Welcome to the world. So Damaris, everyone, you want to also be in the career path that offers you something above what you need to get your COS. Okay, and if you can look at my screen also, you clearly see that all the career paths that we have here met the criteria. All of them met the criteria. The one that slightly went above it was HR analytics, which is £39,500. That's the average salary. Now, remember, this is the average, which means people also earn above all these things, but the average, which is the median amongst what everybody within that space earns. Okay, thank God I'm here today. Damaris, you are there. Make sure you have what you need to remain there. You are making this conversation very funny. I'm going to ignore you now, Damaris. But for everyone, if you're also looking to get that COS, you need an offer that's above £38,700. And all the career paths within this tech sector that we're talking about also will give you that possibility. All right, you have your business analysis, can clearly see what you get to earn in UK average, Canada average, US average. Same thing with data analytics, same thing with data science, same thing with data engineering and other career paths. But what I want you to also look at is that the mistake most people make when looking to break into the tech sector is, which one is going to give me the highest return? Now, this is where the challenge lies. For me, I might be technically inclined that I can easily do well in cybersecurity. And you might be someone that do not understand anything technical and they're trying to get into cybersecurity. How do you want to survive? Okay, so I always mention to people that all these career paths, they are all going to give you what you are looking for. All of them, they will give you what you are looking for. But when trying to transition, what you have to be keen on is which one is going to give me the transferable opportunity with what I've been doing before now. Remember when Elizabeth was speaking to us, she mentioned someone that moved from Nigeria to UK, and he did cybersecurity. Now he's currently doing a cybersecurity program with us, but he looks back at everything that he'd done before now. He'd never worked as a cybersecurity professional, but what he did, he saw things that relate to cybersecurity from it, and he was able to boost it to make it look like he'd been in the cybersecurity space. And this is what I want you to clearly look at. Now, for the want of time, I'm also going to move fast, but when you get the slide, make sure that you look through all these things that we're speaking about and have full understanding of it. And the 6-step approach that is going to help you move into the tech sector is this. Number 1 is for you to identify your desired tech career path. How many of us have identified as? Do we now have a career path that we want to move into? If you have, also put it in the comment section. If you don't, I'm still going to explain all those 8 career paths for us so that we'll have a general understanding of it. Okay, so I'm going to explain all of them so they can have an understanding of it before moving into any. Okay, it's very important for you to know what each of those career paths is all about. Okay, Mbaile said, okay, not Mbaile, Mbalisi, cybersecurity, Damaris, business analysis, Adebu Konla, data analyst, Charles, cloud, techno, data analyst, and others. Okay, I may not be able to read what everybody's typing in. Okay, but first thing that you need to know is to identify your desired tech career path. Then number 2 is to make sure that you learn the skill relevant for this. Okay, make sure that you learn the skill relevant for it, which is your number 2. Okay, number 1, you've identified your desired career path. Number 2, you've learned the skill. So when learning the skill, people always, for instance, I wanted to hire a data analyst recently, and the guy came and said, oh, I learned data analytics through one of the platforms that starts with a U. I don't want to mention the name, that starts with a U. Okay, when I asked him, okay, how many projects have you worked on? And everything he was mentioning was just within the space of, some of these small little projects. So and I asked him, okay, if we bring you on board now and we are sending you to a company, because the truth is we're looking for an experienced person to take up this role. And he positioned himself to be an experienced person, but he didn't really have that experience. But what is going to make you to have the experience as someone that is also still learning is to have project-based understanding. Okay, have project-based experience, and that is number 3. I hope we're writing these steps down. Number 1 is identify your desired career path. Number 2 is to learn the skill. Here we have self-paced classes, we have live instructor-led, where you are going to have someone like myself teaching you live in the classrooms. And number 3 is for you to gain project-based experience. Now, let me walk us through one portfolio of one past student. So when you click here, it's going to take you to the portfolio of one of our past students. Okay, so when you get the link or when you fill the attendance form and you get this slide, just click here and it's going to take you to the portfolio of this our past students. Now here you can clearly see a couple of projects that this individual has been able to walk through. Please, number 3 again. Number 3 is for you to gain project-based experience. Okay, gain project-based experience. Now you can see the project that this past student, Victoria, worked on. First of all, she worked on deep care hospital ER visit analysis. Now, when you click on this report, okay, let me walk us through a couple of projects that she worked on. Deep care hospital ER visit analysis, Redox airline flight analysis, Express Tech food delivery, Nestle product analysis, Zenith Electronics, and using SQL. Now, what we also do is that, because we also play in the consulting space, when we get contractual roles, we also give it to our students to work on. But we codify them. Right? By codifying it, I mean, we might be working for a prominent company that you know, but to you, you might be seeing something like this deep care hospital ER analysis. Right? In actual terms, you are working on a real life project. just that it has been codified. And it's simply to protect ourselves from NDPR or GDPR laws, depending on the country that the data set or the service came from. But when you click on it, you can see the projects that student worked on. So let me click on this first one. So I've clicked on it. It's going to take us into the actual project that Victoria worked on for this hospital. Now, she can comfortably beat her chest when she goes for any interview and say, oh, while I was consulting with Tenalytics, I worked on this project, okay, that required me to analyze the ER visits of everyone that came in. From my entire analysis, I noticed that the total number of patients was close to 10,000. And their average years was around 40 years. Now, the average waiting time for these people to be admitted into the emergency room is 35 minutes, 26 seconds, okay? And my major task is to reduce these 35 minutes, 26 seconds to become 15 minutes. So I was able to do this. I was able to identify the points where we have slowdowns, and I was able to optimize it. And afterwards, in the next report, I was able to improve the average waiting time from 35 minutes to 17 minutes. And because of that, we had improved turnover. And because of improved turnover, it resulted to improved revenue. So when you speak like this to recruiters, definitely they will know that you've been able to handle a project in that sector. Now, it's also an interactive report that you can easily say, okay, what happened exactly in Q1 alone? Want to make a report, oh, in Q1 alone, we had a visit that was around 1,450. And the average waiting time then was also 36 minutes. In Q2 also, we had a total number of patients around, it's still coming up, 2,938. And the average waiting time dropped to 35 minutes, 22 seconds. Can see between Q1 and Q2, that we were able to also apply some of the recommendations I made, which reduced the 36 minutes waiting time to 35 minutes. And by doing that, it improved the number of patients that we had. So when you're able to speak, the volume is so low, I can't hear a thing. Please, can someone confirm? Okay, thank you for mentioning that it is from your end, Lisa. Please, if you want to log out and come back in. Okay, so when you're able to build reports like this and speak from a place of experience, you can easily be able to convince recruiters that you have the skill. Now, the same way you've done a project in the health sector, that's how you are doing also another one in the aviation sector. That is how you are doing another one in supply chain, which is express step food delivery, and also Nestle product analysis, which is also FMCG, and Zenith Electronics, which is technology sector. Now, clearly, you've touched base with 5 different sectors of the economy. Now, here is the question. You and I, you Rita, you Lisa, you Carlo, you Lanre, you Mbalisi, you've applied to a data analytics role, and this our past student, Victoria, have also applied to this data analytics role. With your master's degree in data science from University of Hull, and with the project-based experience that Victoria has from Tenalytics, consulting experience, whom do you think recruiters are going to jump on? Whom do we think recruiters are going to? Mbalisi said no chance, that he or she doesn't have any chance. Ading also mentioned Victoria. Jude also said Vicky. Nena also mentioned Victoria. Now, this is how it actually is. But do you know one amazing thing here also is that most of the people that also come for this training also do have degrees. So when you now combine that degree certification and the project experience that you've also been able to build, you are going to be an unstoppable force, okay? But even without those degrees, it doesn't stop you from landing something amazing. Remember what I said in the beginning? My CTO, he didn't have any university degree, but he also rose to the level of being the CTO of the company. That's Chief Technology Officer with just skill and experience. Now, number 4 is for you to gain employability skill. I'm going to explain this on a later slide, but packaging is not a lie. Packaging is not a lie. For instance, today, if I'm pitching to investors, I can comfortably tell them, oh, that me and my founders, that we have a collective experience close to 100 years. Now, do I have 100 years of experience? No. Do my father have 100 years of experience? No. But when you collectively merge what three of us have, we are nearing that 50, above 50 years of experience. Okay, so someone has close to 20, another person has close to 20, I have above 10. And when you merge everything, it's above 50 years of an experience. And that is close to 100 years of an experience. And when I speak to investors to try and invest in analytics, it's from this people, oh, we have a management that has close to 100 years of an experience. And that is not a lie. It is what we call packaging. And this is what I want all of us to also be able to do. And one key thing I'm able to also identify in the tech sector is that we can always write amazing codes. Okay, we can write codes, we can do anything from here to South Africa to US to Canada. But when it comes to speaking, we cannot be able to do that. When it comes to pen down what you know, you find it challenging. So employability skill is also very important for you to even build your CV, because your CV is going to get to that company even before you come in to defend yourself. Number 5 is networking. And then number 6, mentorship. We've had instances where one student moved into one company and then they needed another person. And the students recommended someone that they were in the same cohort with. So that's the importance of being part of a community. That networking is very, very important. And mentorship is one of the amazing things. Some of us, I struggle to break into the tech industry because we lacked mentors. Anything that comes out, MongoDB will come out, we'll learn. They'll say it's Tableau, jump and learn Tableau. Say it's Power BI. No, today is now Lucas Studio. We jump and learn. So it's important for you to have a mentor that will also be able to walk you through this. Number 4 is gain employability skill. Number 5 is networking. And number 6 is mentorship. Okay, but make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleagues are dropping. Okay, so when you fill the attendance form, when we are done with this, we are going to send this slide to everyone and also send the recorded version. Okay, thank you to everyone. Okay, now I've lost my thought process. So after you've completed all these 6 steps, identify your skills, gain the employability skill, network, and also have mentors, it brings you to this last stage, which is you have gotten the job. Now, one of the most, I don't want to call it important mistake, or one mistake that most people make is that they start from this number 6. If I open my LinkedIn, I always run away from it because I always hear, please, I need you to mentor me. I need you to mentor me. I need you to mentor me. But this is always one of the last stage because I try to walk you through. Mentorship is also a two-way thing. If I'm looking to mentor someone, even though you might be starting, I expect to learn something from this person. And if you are entirely nothing, not identified your desired tech career path, why are you running towards mentorship as your number 1? Okay, so it's important for you to walk through all these processes, for you to make sure that you land all these things that you are looking for. Now, all these things always seems impossible until it is done. Sorry about that. Now, all this always looks impossible until it is done, which is why I've also compiled a couple of people that have also been able to make this move. Okay, I've been able to compile people that have also been able to make this move. You can see Adetayo moved into a cybersecurity role with 60 to 70% completion of his program. So when we're even asking to learn a skill, it doesn't mean that you have to get to the end of the program before you start applying to role. After your first month, second month, we expect you to instantly start hitting the job market, okay? Because you don't know where your own luck is going to fall in, okay? You can also see other people that have also been able to make this move. I love Ikmat's story. I love her story so much. And before this session is over, I also try to play one of these recordings. So Ikmat moved from being a full-time stay-at-home mom into the tech industry as a data analyst with full visa sponsorship with the NHS. Same thing with Ramat. Ramat moved into as a business analyst coming from a customer service role. Then Tony moved into data analysis as well from a pharmacy background. So it doesn't even relate wherever you are coming from. Okay, so you can also see someone like Abigail. Abigail moved to become a business analyst with the government of Alberta from being a care worker. All right, from being a care worker, she moved to become a business analysis manager with the government of Alberta. Right, so if these people can do it, you also can be able to do it. Right, so all this thing I've been telling you before now is for you to first of all make up your mind and know that it's possible. And we have a lot of people, close to close to 3,000 people that have made this move, okay, before now. They've moved from a classroom into landing their own role, and some of them are on this slide. So when you get the slide, you can read what they did, you can listen to what they had to say to have a better understanding of how they were able to make their own switch. Now, what skills do you need to land a role? This is the point where you need your pen and paper. So I'm going to explain all the career paths, all the 8 of them, and also the jobs that relates to it for you to identify the one that you and I can easily break into. I don't know whether we are still following me to this very moment. Are we still here? Okay, yes. I'm a very interactive person, so please, if I don't see you, fantastic. I love the energy I'm getting from here. Fantastic. Now, what skills do you need? Oh, someone said I enjoyed it. Amazing. I'm glad you're enjoying it. For you to break into any of these career paths. Now, I'm going to start with the business analyst, guys. Okay, remember I said this is the point where you need your pen and paper. I brought my own pen also so that I can be able to write for you. Now, business analysts are people that come into the company to improve all the existing processes. All right, so they're coming there to make sense of what is already on ground and improve it to a better stage. Okay, and they also serve as the middle guys between the non-technical stakeholders and the technical stakeholders. Okay, and what this relates to is you need to be someone that is heavy on process improvement and also heavy on communication. So most lawyers, most people that have interacted with a lot of stakeholders, customer service people, lawyers, quality assurance, not quality assurance, internal control, audit guys, people that have improved processes before now, they tend to do well in business analysis. Okay, and if you've also owned a business before, business analysis also tends to be a very amazing career path for you to start with. Okay, and what are the things that you need to learn? First thing you need to identify that you need is Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Now, this is a data analytics tool. But what we noticed is that before now, this Excel, Power BI, and SQL is not part of the things that business analysts have to learn. We noticed that recruiters are now looking for business analysts that have data understanding. Okay, so that's why we added Excel, Power BI, and SQL as part of the things that you need to learn. You also need to learn process mapping. Okay, because for you to improve a process, you need to identify all the existing levels in that process and know which one you need to make better. Right? And that's where Lucy Chart and Draw.io comes in. So you're going to learn Lucy Chart and also learn Draw.io. Then next, you learn these 2 courses, Project Initiation Planning and Agile and Scrum for projects. Now, this is a borrowed course from project management. Okay, and why it's borrowed here is because as a business analyst, you've identified a process that needs to be improved. For you to attack it and improve that process, you need to initiate a project. And what most people work with is you have to work on an agile methodology. Okay, it has to be an improvement that is incremental. Okay, that is why it's important for you to also learn project management, that is project initiation planning and Agile and Scrum for projects. Then lastly, you will now learn this other career path, and that is software development life cycle, requirements fundamentals, elicitation method, and stakeholder analysis. And of course, ChatGPT for business analysis. Please, no one should ask me why we are not teaching DeepSeek and we are teaching ChatGPT. DeepSeek just came out last 2 weeks rather. So please, nobody should ask me why we're not teaching DeepSeek. At the moment, we are still keen on how you can utilize ChatGPT with your role. Okay, but as time goes on, we notice that DeepSeek is about the chief that we've known before, then definitely we optimize. Okay, but for now, these are things that you're going to learn. So of applying to data analytics roles. Where is my pen? Okay, you have the possibility of applying to data analytics roles. You have the possibility of applying to project management roles. You have the possibility of applying to business analysis role. Okay, so these 3 career paths are also somehow embedded inside BA. And if you are a smart person, we've had instances where someone joined our business analysis program, but today the person is a data analyst. We also have someone, today she is a project manager, and we have a lot of people that today they're all business analysts. So you can always see the different places to navigate through. Now, our classes only holds on Saturdays. We have the morning class and we have the evening class. So the morning class is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Watts. Okay, it's suitable for people in Europe and Africa. Then the evening class is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Watts. That should be around 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Suitable for people in Canada and everyone in North America and time. Now, the class holds on Saturdays alone. Okay, so the way it works is this. This Saturday, for instance, today is Saturday and a new cohort actually started today. They had a live class. Next Saturday, they are going to have a self-paced class where they will get a watch me do it video to do watch as I do it. Facilitator is doing it on a video and you're replicating it. Next class again, you're having a live class where someone is there to walk you through everything. Okay, and our programs are, we have 2 options. We have the 8-month plan and we have the 12-month plan. Now, both of them will have 6 months classroom learning. Okay, so for both, you have 6 months classroom learning. But for the 8-month plan, you have 2 months internship experience, which means after you've done this project-based learning, you also have 2 months internship with a company that we are in affiliation with. Okay, but for the 12 months, guys, you have 6 months classroom learning and then have a 6 months internship experience also. Okay, I hope this explanation is clear for everyone looking at business analysis. Now, for other programs as well, it is the same structure of learning, 8 months or 12 months, and also the class holds on Saturdays a.m., evening class 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, next one I want to also explain is the Agile Project Manager. Now, who exactly is the Agile Project Manager? These are people that serve as leaders and coach within an Agile team. Okay, so they make sure that everyone is working using Agile methodology. And if you are someone that you are keen to being a leader, you are someone that you can easily lead a team, then you should be looking at Agile Project Management. And this is also a career path that we call the no code area in tech. So you're not doing anything technical, anything coding. So if you're looking for a tech career path to move into without doing anything technical, you are running from mathematics, you're running from analytics, you're running from everything that has to do with analysis, Agile Project Management is for you. Okay? Is it possible to switch from Scrum Master to business analysis? Fantastic, yes, you can switch. Now, these Agile Project Managers, first thing that you're going to learn is understanding the methods and structures that exist. Okay? Before you move into your communication as a peer, remember you're the lead, you're the leader, you're the coach within this team. So your skills, communication skill has to be top notch. Then you're not going to be walked through foundations of Agile and Scrum. And of course, you have full understanding of the Scrum artifacts. How do you work on projects incrementally? So if you are from Nigeria, you remember this platform, NairaLand. So NairaLand is one of the projects that was done using waterfall aspect of project management. It wasn't Agile. So the same way it has been since 2008, or since I knew NairaLand since 2008, that is how it is still this 2025. no increments, nothing. And that is waterfall aspect of projects. Now for Agile, we're looking at incremental things coming up. For instance, WhatsApp. When WhatsApp started, there was nothing like status. There was nothing like locking some chat. There was some things that were not existing. Every single day, or not every single day, most times they keep bringing comes in. People that are mental to improve what exists. So this is where Agile falls in. You're going to and Trello, which are basically your own project management tools. Okay, and everything you will learn will prepare you for your professional Scrum Master examination. Okay, I hope you understand whom an Agile project manager is. Someone is asking, is there any coding here? I don't know if people are not listening. Is there coding in BA? So there's no coding in BA, Ayobami, but then there exists Excel, Power BI, and SQL. And these are technical tools that you also need to learn. Okay, but there's no coding there. But for Agile project management, there is nothing that relates to all those tools. Technicalities do not exist. All right, it is more of how do you make sure that your team works using Agile methodology. So the structure is the same. The class holds 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. morning class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. evening class. And learning timeline is also the same, 8 months and 12 months. 6 months classroom learning for both, and then 2 months internship for one and 6 months internship for the other. Now, let's talk about, we are getting technical now. I know we are all keen to hear other things, but allow me to walk you through this journey. Okay, allow me to walk you through this journey, Jude. All right, now, who exactly is data engineer? So data engineers are people that build data pipelines and architecture. So they're very heavy on coding, right? So if, let me give you an example right now. So in construction companies, if you see the plumber, they build the pipelines to connect the sink, the water system, the shower, the, what's it called? WC and everything, to make sure that at any point you open any of them, water flows. Now, this is because the plumber has been able to build the pipeline to connect all of them to the water source. Now, that's how the data engineer also is meant to build pipelines and architecture to make sure that data flows within the ecosystem. All right, so they are heavy on coding. All right, so data engineers are heavy on coding. First thing you're going to be learning is the introduction to data engineering, where you have understanding of data lifecycle management and data architecture, before you now move into SQL, structured query language. Now, this is also what prepares you to be a database administrator, and also move on to Python programming. Okay, then lastly, you're getting to Linux operating system. So you are no more going to be having understanding of Windows OS, that's Windows operating system, or Mac OS, that's your HPs and your Apple. You also need to have understanding of Linux operating system. Okay, and then you now move into building your custom ETL pipeline. ETL simply stands for extract, extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, ignore my writing. Now, you are extracting data from, let's say, a website. You are transforming it in your IDE, that's your integrated development environment. This can be your Google Colab, it can be your Jupyter Notebook, okay? And then you are loading it to a database. So you see the reason why it's important for you to learn Python programming, because this is what you are going to use for your transformation and extraction. And for your loading, you are going to be loading it to a Postgres database. And that is why it's important for you to also learn SQL. So everything has been structured on step-by-step process to move you from one step to the other. And then for you to automate this process, that's where Apache Airflow and Apache Spark comes in. Someone mentioned that they want to move into cloud engineering. So cloud engineering is a subset of data engineering. So you can see here that they're also going to be learning cloud engineering, which is GCP and Azure. And of course, version controls, GitHub, and ChatGPT Copilot. Now, for all our program, it is from basic level to advanced level. Okay, because someone is asking me, can you do data engineering with no experience? It is possible, but there has to be a level of effort from your own side. I used to have a data engineer here in analytics that he transitioned from being a pharmacist to becoming a data engineer. And he's one of the most amazing data engineers I've ever seen. And he came from being a pharmacist to becoming a data engineer with no technical experience whatsoever to becoming a data engineer. Okay? So this is to show you that it is possible. But what he did was that when people were, for instance, if people that are technical, if they just learn and they go home to sleep, he is going back to watch the recorded version of the video so that he'll have it on his fingertips. Now, next drop-in session, which is like a revision class, he's instantly joined and he's asking questions. So if you have zero skill, it means that you have to put in the extra effort more than others. For someone like me, if I want to learn, what am I going to use an example? Let's say I want to learn electric vehicle. I want to become an EV specialist. Because I already have some technical skills, I might go into it, I will learn, I will go and sleep. But someone that does not have any skill at all means that if you learn, you have to practice for you to come up to the level that everyone needs to be in. So it is possible, but there has to be a level of effort from your own side. So the learning timeline is also the same thing, and the learning option are the same. 8 months, 12 months. You have to choose the one that works for you. Now we have the data analyst. Now, the data analysts are people that come into business to make sense of data. Okay, they come into the business to make sense of the data and be able to tell the stakeholders, this is what the data is telling us. And what they basically have to understand is descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. And that is simply what happened and why did it happen. So what happened and why did it happen? So let me give you an example. So let's say hypothetically, last year, Analytics, we posted a revenue of $1 million. Remember, hypothetically, before you guys think we have money. Now, from that $1 million, the data analyst is telling us, oh, 500,000 came from the US markets, 200,000 came from the UK and Canadian markets respectively, and then 100,000 from the rest of the world. So he's been able to tell us what happened. We expect him to also tell us why did that happen. So he might decide to look at the other data that the company has. Possibly he looked at the marketing data. And from there, he noticed that for our marketing budgets, we use 50% of the marketing budget in the US market and use 20% respectively in UK and Canada, and then the 10% in the rest of the world. Now you can easily see a correlation between revenue and marketing budgets. So it means that if we are looking to improve the revenue from the other business or other rest of the world, we should also look towards improving the marketing budget for the rest of the world. Now, this is what the data analyst is there to tell you. To look at your data, tell you what happened and why it happened. And that is descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. And first thing they need to understand is problem solving, because you are coming there to solve a problem for the business. Then you will learn Excel from the beginning, from basic level, your cell, your row, your column. You move on to your functions and formulas, move on to your pivot table, and of course your pivot charts, and also how to collectively build a dashboard using Excel. Then you also need to understand SQL, structured query language, because sometimes you might be working in a company that they already have data stored in the database. Okay, so you need to be able to bring out data from that database and analyze. And database doesn't understand come and go. It understands a structured query language. So you need to learn SQL. So walk you through it, and of course, Power BI and Tableau. Okay, so these are visualization tools that allows you to analyze bigger data sets to be able to make your data visually appealing. Okay, so how do you build your reports to be in bar charts? So instead of it being in numbers, you want it to be in something like this, so they can easily be able to communicate your information to your stakeholders. How do you do them with bigger data? That's where Power BI and Tableau comes in. Now, data storytelling is also very important, because you need to learn how to tell a story. if you don't want to lose your stakeholders. Okay. For instance, on this call right now, you are able to go on this journey with me because I started from somewhere and gradually brought you to this point. If I started from, oh, welcome to this masterclass, for you to be a data analyst, you need to learn Excel, Power BI, SQL, you are going to lose me out. Okay. But you need to learn how do you tell a story from point 1 to point 2. Okay. So that you can also be able to understand every single thing that you need and also have a bigger understanding of Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. So the learning timeline is the same and it's for 8 months and 12 months, and it's just on Saturdays, morning or evening class. Now, we also have the data scientists. Now, these are people that also come into the company to answer descriptive analytics. They will answer diagnostic analytics, and then they will answer predictive analytics. And that is simply what happened, why did it happen, and then what is going to happen in the future. Okay, so a data scientist can comfortably work as a data analyst. And that's because they have understanding of these two, which is descriptive and diagnostic. But they are going a step further to add predictive to it, and that is where coding comes in. So you're now going to be learning some coding tools to be able to tell this future. So you can see that the key learning areas start with statistics, and then they move on to learn forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel, and also learn Tableau and then SQL. So these 4 major key learning areas will prepare them also to work as a data analyst, right? Then they're now going a step further to learn Python programming, all right? So they learn Python programming, learn exploratory data analysis, okay? Understand machine learning and also computer vision. So this now prepares them to be able to build predictive models. So these predictive models is now what is going to help them to tell the future. So you can easily see that data science has that aspect of Python that is now going to enable you to tell the future. Okay, that's not going to enable you to tell the future. I don't know, so is asking a question, why is there no Python fundamentals for data analytics? Now, the answer is as simple as this. As a data analyst, you are meant to answer 2 questions, what happened and why it happened. At any time that you start moving to build predictive models, you are moving from analytics to science. And that's where Python comes in. Now, everything that you need to answer those 2 questions, which is what happened, descriptive and diagnostic, Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau will help you to do those things. Now, we now want to step up your game and start moving towards data science or towards coding. That is where Python comes in, right? I know amazing people in the sector that are just data analysts. They don't know how to write Python code, but they are amazing Power BI users. Ask them to automate any reports, they're going to do it with Power BI. Ask them to build any report, dashboard, they're going to do it with Power BI or Tableau. Now, this is basically who a data analyst is. But at the point they are now looking to tell the future or to start writing some languages, they are moving towards science aspect, and that's data science. So if you're someone that you already have little understanding of Excel, Power BI, I will advise you to move towards data science, because what it means is that you're now moving to a place where you're going to be challenged. But if you're looking to now still remain in data analytics, you may not be fully challenged there because it's still the same Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Tableau. But if you want to move to now start writing programming languages, then you should now move towards data science. And I forgot to mention, as a data analyst, no matter the sector of the economy you are coming from, you can break into being a data analyst. And it's simple. No matter what you've been doing, you've interacted with data. At one point or the other, you've interacted with data. Okay, and you can always blend or optimize what you've learned to look like you've been in data analytics space. Now, remember, I've talked about in a couple of courses, we also have financial analytics. Now, these are people that also work as data analysts, but they've streamlined themselves to financial data. So they're going to learn the same thing a data analyst will learn, except Tableau. Right? They'll learn problem solving, learn Excel, learn Power BI, and learn SQL. Then they will now streamline themselves towards financials. How do you apply all these tools to building all these things in this side? So you're now learning how do you use Excel for your accounting and fundamentals with respect to your cash flow, your income statements, your balance sheet. How do you build all of them using Excel? Then I'm moving on to learning how do you also perform financial analysis, and of course, how to build your financial model. Then your valuation and sensitivity and scenario analysis is also very, very important. All right? It's very, very important. So if you have financial background already and you want to remain in the financial space or in the tech sector, then you should be looking at financial analytics. All right, we also have the HR analysts. Now, these are people, I know someone mentioned that they are HR and want to break into the sector. They also learn data tools. All right, they will learn problem solving, Excel, Power BI, SQL, and then they will learn how do you streamline it to managing the people's data. Okay, and that's where HR analysis and performance evaluation come in. How do you build your appraisal sheets? How do you know when to perform exit interviews, stay interviews rather, instead of exit interviews? You've analyzed your people's reports, people's data, and you are telling the company, oh, I noticed that once someone clocks 30 in this company, they resign. Why is this so? Which means you have to, when someone gets to 29, you need to start asking questions. Oh, what we need to have to apply data towards the HR space, and also how to build your dashboards and to also collaborate and report automation. As a HR analyst, you are heavy on communicating with management. So you need to also learn how to build your case and create action. So it's also the same learning timeline with all this. Do you need heavy coding skill for financial analytics? No, you do not. Okay, highest thing you're going to be touching with respect to coding is SQL. And SQL, we don't consider it as a programming language. All right? Okay, how about health informatics, Precious? Now, for everything relating to informatics, these sustainability analysts, they are all under data analytics. So they are just like a subset of them. Okay, for you to perform as a health informatics, you need to know how to use Excel, Power BI, SQL, and that is what prepares you to now implement it in the health sector. Okay, so once you have that knowledge of how to use the tool, it's now the sector that will now change the name. The same way you have health informatics, you have logistics analysts, you have supply chain analysts, you have marketing analysts, you have product analysts. They are all subsets of data analytics. And once you understand those key learning skills, you can easily break into any of them. Now, finally, I have the cybersecurity guys. Okay, so cybersecurity people, because of what every person is doing, someone needs to protect the digital assets that we are bringing up. Okay, someone needs to be able to protect all this data. The same way you have facial recognition on your phone. For someone to get into your WhatsApp, you have facial recognition. For someone to get into your Instagram, you have thumbprint. What are you locking? All right, that's how someone also needs to protect the digital assets of all companies. Now, what we've done with our own cybersecurity program is that we used the medical pathway also to structure our cybersecurity class. And what do I mean by the medical pathway? So the same way for you to be a neurosurgeon, a pediatrist, a different subset of medicine, you need to have general medicine knowledge for like 4 years. I'm using Nigerian style. 4 years before you now move to your specialty. That is also what is here. So for you to function fully in the cybersecurity space, you need to have that generic understanding. Okay, and that's why first thing that you are learning is introduction to cybersecurity. Then you move on to your foundations of computing and networking, where you're now getting your hands dirty. How do you handle LAN? How do you handle WAN? What is IPs? What is subnetting? And so on and so forth. Then you also understand your information security principle. So this is the principle on which everything that you are going to be learning in cybersecurity is hinged on. And it is called the CIA triad. confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. Okay, confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. So everything that you are learning in cybersecurity is hinged on these things. And then you move into your offensive and defensive cybersecurity. How do you perform an attack and how do you defend an attack? And that's where you now start learning your tools. How do you use Nmap and Nexus for vulnerability assessment? How do you use Metasploit for exploitation also? Move on to your cryptographic basics, your cyber threat and attack vectors. How do you use Splunk to analyze your threats? If you want to be a SOC analyst, how do you utilize Splunk to analyze threats? Okay, and then you move on to network security. How do you use Wireshark and Cisco Packet Tracer for your network analysis, and also endpoint security, web and application security, and cloud security? How do you utilize the Metasploit and Bob suite also to analyze some of these threats coming from this side? So you can clearly see that once you are done with your cybersecurity program, in fact, your capstone project can decide if you want to move towards GRC, or if you want to be a network security engineer, or if you want to be an offensive or pen tester. So you have projects in those paths. But first thing is that we are going to walk you through all of them. So this last part is where you now have your incident response and your cybersecurity policies and compliance, which basically speaks to GRC. That's your governance, risk, and compliance. Most times, when people try to move into GRC, they'll think, oh, I don't need the technical aspect, I don't need all those things. But how can you build a governance, or how can you build control around risk, or how can you build compliance around a process that you do not understand? So it's important that you understand all these things, even if you want to major as a GRC professional. It gives you an extra edge, and it also opens your possibilities that when you're looking for a job, you are not just going to be applying to roles that is just streamlined to your own side. You can today apply to network security, tomorrow you're applying to be a pen tester. But the most important thing is you have all the skill needed for you to excel in all of them. Okay, you have all the skill, skill needed to excel in all these things. And the learning timeline is also the same thing. Morning class, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for all our programs. Evening class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We structure it in a way that if you're in Europe, you can join the morning class. If you're in Africa, you can join the morning class. If you are in North America, Canada, US, you can join the evening class. And then it is a 6 months classroom learning for both of them, whether the 8 months plan or the 12 months plan, 6 months classroom learning, and then 2 months internship for the 8 months track, and 6 months internship for the 12 months track. Now, for the classes, they are all basic to advanced level, which means even if you have the zero knowledge, you are going to be carried along. The way it's structured is this: your live class, you have someone like me teaching you, and then the classes are also recorded. That after each session, you can go back to the recorded version and watch the recording. Then during the week, on Wednesday specifically, we'll have what we call drop-in sessions or revision classes. Oh, you've been trying to practice what happened, or you're finding it challenging. You come back to that drop-in session and also ask questions. And we'll have like a closed WhatsApp group where everyone, you're working on something, can easily drop in your question, and your facilitator will be there to also handle all those challenges that you have. Now, all these things is to provide you with opportunity to have 2 leading tech companies in your CV. Remember at the beginning, I mentioned that you need experience for you to land roles, okay? And how do you build that experience? You can speak from a place of, oh, while I was consulting with Analytics, I worked on this project. While I was consulting with Amdari, I worked on this project. And that is how we always advise our students to speak. You're not training with us, you are consulting with us. And the company you are going to be interning with is Amdari. Okay, you're also going to be interning with Amdari, which means you have the possibility of listing 2 leading tech companies in your CV. Okay, now, for you to land a job, remember I mentioned I'm going to explain all these things very well. You need both the technical skill and the employability skill. Now, this is what is going to help you land a job. I've explained the technical skills clearly. Now, the employability skill is where most of us always lack, right? We always lack in the employability skill. And what are these employability skills? Number one is your CV review sessions, okay? How do you build your CV in a way that recruiters are going to want to see you, okay? So there's always applicants tracking system in most job applications that are going to do. How do you scale that initial 8 years? That's where we walking you through how do you tailor your CV down to the job specifics. People struggle most times to land job because they use one CV to apply to multiple roles. So imagine you as a data scientist or as a data scientist here, you're applying to data analyst role, you're applying to data engineering role, you're applying to data science role, but you've not been able to tailor your CV down to the job specifics. You are going to struggle. So first thing we're going to also walk you through is how do you build your CV? And then how do you tailor it down? And we're now going to present you with we are going to present you with a template for the CV that you are going to now be continuously be optimizing. Then next is LinkedIn optimization. I mentioned earlier that most recruiters, when they want to hire, they simply go to LinkedIn and headhunt. So you want to make sure that your LinkedIn is up to where it's supposed to be. And the only way to do that is to build your LinkedIn profile up and make sure they're consistently talking about the space that you are in, right? Make sure they're consistently talking about the space that you are in. Then we also have sessions on how to navigate the job market, where we bring in experts back to the classroom to walk you through on the different job boards that you can use to apply to some roles. And most importantly, we'll have interview prep sessions, okay? You've landed an interview. How do you prepare? You book an interview prep session with us, where one of our experts are going to prepare you with the interview, with the job description that you're going for. How do you answer situation-based questions using the STAR framework, which is situation, task, action, and results? How do you answer all those questions? So it's important for you to have all this understanding. Okay, I think my screen is paused. Yeah, I think my screen is paused. Let me be sure that it's okay. Yeah, it's back. Okay, so someone is going to prepare you for those interviews to make sure they can comfortably speak very well whenever you go for any of those interviews. And then, of course, you have what we call job references and recommendation letter. This is very, very important, no matter where you are from, no matter the country that you're joining from, because companies always want to know which and what have you done in the past. So we also are able to provide you with all those references and recommendation letter. And when you land the job and you are still struggling, we are available to provide on-the-job support for you for 1 month. But this is a service that I don't think we've provided for anyone, because most time you actually have all that you need to succeed on that role. And then we also have weekly mentorship sessions where we bring in experts to walk you through and guide you on some of the challenges that they had, so that you don't also have same challenge that they are having. And of course, you have your Upwork session where someone is also guiding you through how you can learn to work contractually, to freelance, and be able to make a small $50 here, $100 here, so you're able to find your feet. So all these things are services that we provide for you so you can find your stories. And this is what we've used to make and help close to 3,000 people move from our classroom into landing their first roles. And your own story can be the next one that we will have on this place, okay? So this is how we also help Rita to secure a tier 2 skilled work visa sponsorship job using data analytics. So all the programs that we have, they are all amongst the categories of the skilled jobs that you can actually get, okay? And what it means is that all of them have the possibility of getting you sponsorship. So you can see Lois transition from being an accountant into being a business, into the business analytics program, and she landed a business project manager role in UK. So you can see all of them. You can see Ngozi, she moved from being a customer service person to also landing a business analytics role. And also Oluwadamilare, he took the data analytics program and he landed a sustainability data analytics role. So when you get this slide, please make sure you fill the attendance form. It's very, very crucial. When you get the slide, you can personally go through all these, hear what they had to say, read what they said, and be able to get accustomed to it. If you want to reach out to them personally, you can search them on LinkedIn and also be able to reach out to them. Now, it's not all our people that have gotten jobs that are here. Okay, some people did not sign our data agreement for us to use them for services like this, which is why they are not on our slide. But people that agreed for us to talk about them openly, we are actually adding them here to also be able to use them to speak to others. So all these are success stories of people that have been able to do this in the past. Now, we've had sessions where we also brought in those past students to come back and speak, and also click on any of these slides and watch what they all had to say. But remember, everything that you're doing starts with learning the skill. Okay, last year we got into our Beta Capitalizer program for us to learn how do we improve in our own company as well. We helped 355 people just last year specifically to land job. How do we double that number this year to help 710 people? Okay, that's why we got into the Our Beta Capitalizer program. And if you're also keen on certification, we are accredited with the American Council for Training and Development, which means once you are done with the training, you are going to get the certificate from ACTD USA. Okay, that is fully a certificate of accreditation from ACTD in conjunction with analysis saying that you've undergone this training. Okay, so if you are still heavy on certificates, we are also going to give you certificates. But remember, in the tech ecosystem, what you need is the skill and the experience. So what are the next steps that you actually need to take? Our next cohort is starting on March 8th. So we always have new cohorts that start every first Saturday of the month. One started today, that's the February cohort. Next one is starting March 8th. And for you to have access to it, for the 8-month plan, the amount is $900, but it's currently discounted to $750 for the first 20 people to join it, okay? And then you get to save $150, which means you save $150 if you register early. Okay, for the 12-month plan, the full amount is $1,200. And it also has a 20% discount, which means you also get to save $200 when you register early. And you have the option for you to break it down instrumentally. For the 8-month plan, you can pay $150 per month for 5 months. And for the 12-month plan, you can pay $125 per month for 8 months, US dollars. So everything I've been speaking is in US dollars, all right? And for you to get access to all this link, all you have to do is just click on the link that my colleagues are going to drop in, and it's going to bring you to our Analytics Enrollment Center. So it will bring you to Analytics Enrollment Center. What you have to do at this point is just scroll down. Why not in Naira? That's from Anshe. Anshe, I don't know if you know, but we are fully registered in different countries and we service a global market. Naira is not a global currency. Okay, I know you and I agree to that. But the beauty is that no matter where you are joining from, you can pay with the currency of your location. Okay, so the main stack link has that global reach, that it picks the country that you are joining from and gives you the equivalent of it in your own currency. Okay, for instance, let me give an example using the data analytics track. So I want to go for the data analytics program. I've scrolled down, I've seen this analysis 8 months, 12 months. That is not what I'm going for. I'm going for data analytics. So let me go for data analytics 8 months. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you to the place where you now select how you want to structure your instrumental payments. How do you want to structure this? So at this point, you can now see how you can break it down into different payments, monthly payments. So you can see that for the 8-month data analytics track, you have the option to break it down up to 5 months. So what you have to do now is now scroll down and select 5 months. Okay. And once you select that 5 months, click on secure your seat. And that is just it. But let me also point out this. For all our programs, if you pay one off or if you pay in 2 installments, you also get to save extra $50. Okay. Because I mean, you are going to also agree with me, net present value of money. $700 in my pocket today is different from $700 paid over a period of 5 months. So that's why people that pay one off or people that pay in 2 installments also get extra discounts of having $50 off for them. But if you want to structure it the other way, just click on how many number of months you want to pay. 5 months, and I've clicked on secure my seat. So it's now showing me that my first payment is due today. Next one is due by March 8th. The other one by April 8th, next one by May 8th, and then the other one by June 8th. All I have to now do is click on proceed. And then I put my name, my email address, phone number, and pay for the product. Remember, like I said, no matter where you are joining from, it picks your location and give you the currency in your location. So if you're in Canada, you're going to see the currency in card. If you're in Nigeria, you're going to see it in Naira. If you're in UK, you're going to see it in pounds. If you're in Germany, you're going to see it in euros. If you're in Ghana, in cedis. So no matter where you are joining from, it gives you the currency in your own local equivalents. Okay, and once you are done paying for the product, go back to the main link and click on upload your receipt here. Click on upload your receipt here. And I'm going to tell you for a fact, remember, the discount is just for the first 20 people that joins that exact class. So for data analytics, because I know I have a session like this yesterday, Adeza also had one with somebody on YouTube. And then there's also someone that also made the post yesterday as well. Okay, so you can see that 20 spots have reduced to 10 seats available. So, and after sessions like this, most of these spots are easily taken. After my session yesterday, that's when it dropped down to 10. After it dropped down to 17, after the YouTube session, it dropped down to 10 or thereabouts. And after sessions like tonight, those spots are easily taken. So I always advise people to try and secure their spots as fast as possible so that when you go back, you're not going to be seeing the full pricing because the discounted seats has been taken fully. And even if you are yet to find out the exact program you want to go for, register under any of them. And in all the different WhatsApp groups that you came through, we're going to be having a one-on-one consulting. It's entirely free for us to look at your background deeply and know how we can structure it and move you into a career path. Okay, we're looking at it. Oh, you used to be, let's say, a teacher. You have this skill, you have that skill. What exact tech industry can you get into? We are going to look at that, ask you questions, and know the one that suits you specifically. Okay, but even before that, because that should be from Monday, spots are easily filled. So I always advise people to secure their spots and then book for that one-on-one clarity session that my colleague is going to be dropping in all the WhatsApp groups that we came through. And then by Monday, we're going to start having those one-on-one sessions with you to help you find a career path that is specifically for you. But make sure that you secure your spots. If after the clarity we realize, oh, you said you want to be a data analyst, but business analysis will be best for you, we are going to change it from the back end and move it to business analysis. But if you've not secured your spot before then, and we just had a clarity and you went back to the site and the spots are fully taken, it is not our own doing. Okay, so the discount is just for the first 20 people. So at this point, I don't know if there are questions that we have. Please feel free to use the raise hand icon and I will call you up to speak. Also feel free to drop it in the comment section and I will pick it up from there and answer every one of them. Okay, I can tell you for a fact that the spots are already being taken, so you also want to leverage it also. So let me look through and see if there are questions for me. Oops, I saw this price at 450 before, price increase. Medis, I'm glad you saw it. So as of last year, if you saw this at 450, that means it wasn't even last year. Because last year our program was around $600. But the thing there is that as of early last year, $600 should be equivalent of maybe 450,000 naira, as the case may be, before the entire naira issue started. All right. So I always advise people to secure their spots, because with the whole way the economy is moving, nobody knows how the pricing is going to be. Is there a special plan for undergraduates? That's from Praise. So Praise, we've already discounted, and I can tell you for a fact there are undergraduates here, there are skilled people here, and there are experienced people here as well. So it's a collective basket that everyone gets into. It's not loading in Bali. Okay, it's not loading. That's in Bali. If you want to, check your network and try again. I mean, I just opened it live in this session. Thank you so much for the great enlightenment. Can't wait. That's from Frederick Fidel. Frederick, you want to also secure your spot. Looking forward to the one-on-one consultancy for clarity. All right. My colleagues will drop it in the rooms, but make sure that you secure your spot so that the discount is not over by the time we are speaking on Monday. Is there a way I can finish the program in 3 months or 4 months, maybe have classes twice a week? So there's no way you can finish it in 3 months. Okay, there's no way, because it is a live class where someone comes every Saturday to teach you every weekend. So unless if I tell you, okay, is there a way we can triple the price? But that's not part of the discussion, right? So we are flowing the actual timeline to walk everyone through it. But what always happens is that after 2 months, because we don't wait till the end before we start walking you through the employability services. After 2 months, you already have the skill to attack the job market. You are expected to start applying to roles. Okay, someone like Ikmat, and I wanted to play her video. She got a job 1 month into the program. Okay, but she wasn't able to take it because she was still a student and she had limited working hours. And after her own program, she now struggled 2 months before she now got 2 extra jobs that she now had to select. So that's why we always advise our students, after we are done with your CV review sessions, instantly attack the job market, because you actually do not know the attack that is going to give you the goal you're looking for. Okay, I hope that answered your question now. So can I pay with credit card? Fantastic, Ikechi. So on the website, it also allows credit card. Can it be done in less than 6 months, say 3 or 4 months? South, like I explained now, so it is not available at the moment. The page is not coming up after clicking on it. Hello, Elijah, are you there? Please confirm. But if you're having that challenge, it's most likely your network, because I just opened it live in this session. Okay, so if you're having that challenge, it's most likely your network. You might want to switch to a different internet provider to access it. Okay, are there certifications in cyber security, Temitope? So Temitope, if you joined us earlier, I said that we are heavy on skill and certification. Now, what you are going to be learning is how do you utilize those tools on the job itself. Okay, you want to be a SOC analyst. How do you use Splunk for analysis? If you want to be a SOC analyst and you have, let's say, CNNA, or you have CEH, or you have CISA, but you don't know how to use Splunk, nobody's going to look at you. Okay, what everyone is looking at is the skill and the experience, because that is what you are going to be doing on the job itself. But the amazing thing is also this: the class itself prepares you for some of those certifications that you want to go for. But the thing is this: if you are looking to move into CISA or CRR risk or CISM or CEH, as the case may be, you need to look at the diet for all those programs and read based on diets. Theoretical exam is entirely different from practical skills. Okay, so you may want to also look at that. Is BA or PA field saturated Ayobami? Now, Ayobami, clearly, like I showed you, all the career paths that we offer here are amongst the fastest growing jobs. Okay, they are amongst the fastest growing jobs. And that's why we don't offer all the tech skills out there. We only cherry picked the ones that have fastest growing opportunities. I'm a midwife. What part of tech can I move into? So, Oluchi, that information is not enough for me to give you an advice. So, in the WhatsApp group you came through, look for a one-on-one clarity call. Okay, book it, and then you are going to have a full conversation with our team. Okay, you have people that are even way better than me speaking to you, asking you questions to understand your background and give you advice. Okay, so make sure that you book that. But very important, secure your spots first and then book that clarity. Because what happens most times is, oh, you are done with clarity, you're going back to the site, and the price is not 750 anymore, but 900 because the discount has been fully taken. Okay, the website is not loading. Same thing from Mbali. Mbali, I'm the only one dropping that the website is not loading. You may want to ask a friend to try also, but I just opened it right here. Okay, can I be done in less than 6 months or 3 months? No, you cannot be done in less than 6 months, but you can be able to land a job within less than 6 months also. Okay, so Elijah just said, please reload the website. A couple of people have made payments. Okay, please reload the website because people are already making payments. So you may want to reload the website so that we can also be able to get into it. Does age matter? That's from TCL. So age is not really a barrier in tech. The least person we've trained, he was 18 years. The oldest person we trained, he was 67 years. Okay, so it is not really a barrier in tech. Thank you so much for tonight. Thank you so much as well, Samson. Okay, would this program benefit people in the Caribbean? Trust me, Stacy, tech is a global skill. It's beneficial to everyone, even if you are inside the world. Okay, it is beneficial to anyone. Can I join the evening class even though I live in the UK? Yes, Lee, you can join any class that suits your own schedule. Because it can be in UK and then your work time might be in the morning, which means evening class will be better for you. So you can join any of the classes that suits you, but you will only be in one class. Okay, you can't be in morning and evening, you can only be in one. Some courses not showing seats available. This means it's kind of, oh, Chievo. Well, before I joined this session, there was seats available for all the classes. So you may want to, there was seats available for all the classes before I started this session. Okay, the only thing it translates into is that possibly people have easily taken up all those seats. So what I advise you to do is secure through a different seat. And then when we come to a one-on-one clarity session, we'll have discussion and then move you to the other set, okay? Secure through a different seat, and then when you come into the clarity call, you can now change it from the back end for you. So this is just a benefit for people that are listening to what I'm saying, because not everyone knows this. You can secure through a different seat, and then we can change it in the back end for you. I'm a quality control technician. What course? Okay, like I said earlier, we need more to be able to give you an advice. Okay, there are a lot of questions here that might take a lot of time for us to finish today. We are roughly 2 hours, 15 minutes into this session. What is the way forward if you are not ready to start now? So Richard, we always have new cohorts starting every first Saturday of the month. And for people registering now, the next class is starting by March 8th. Okay, so the classes start by March 8th. After March 8th, the next class will be by April 3rd. But the difference is this, the pricing might be different. Okay, someone just mentioned that, oh, he saw this course at $450 before, but right now it's above it. So, but you have the option to secure your spot now and defer to start in April, which means you don't want to start in March, you want to start in April. Fantastic. While uploading your receipt, you have the option to choose if you want to start in March or if you want to start in April. So that's also an option for you. So we call it futures trade. If you trade foreign exchange or crypto or any of the options or derivatives in the stock market, you easily know that you have the option to buy a product now for a future date. Okay, what it does for you is that you've secured it at the current existing price. So if tomorrow the price increases, it doesn't concern you. When the date comes, your product is going to be delivered. And that is what we're also using with respect to you paying and securing your spot now, but deferring to start in April. Okay, so Chineye, okay, I think this is a direct message to me. I don't need the person, but I'm a trained project manager, but I just different experience job in the service available. Okay, Chineye, you want to book a clarity call, so we'll have a special discussion with respect to this. Okay, so if you have a specific question, book a clarity call so that you can unmute. I'll ask you, you answer, you ask me, I'll answer. Okay, there are a lot of questions here, so pardon me if I don't get to handle your question. There are a lot of questions here. Okay, but I'm trying as fast and also looking at all of them as much as I can. Okay, I think the next question is saying, I wasn't able to join last year because the weekend class period did not suit me. Has it been resolved or do classes still fall between Friday to Sunday? Hello, Joshua. We don't have classes on Friday. So our classes before now used to be Saturdays and Sunday. But now it is only Saturdays. Okay, so that's what happens. Only Saturdays, and we have the morning class and the evening class. Can I join the evening class, although I'm in the UK? Yes, I've answered that already. I want to join the June cohort. Can I start paying installments to do that? In La Rochelle, you may not be able to secure the June cohort now because we don't know how the economy is going to be by June. So we only allow deferment up to 1 month. Okay, you are paying now, but you don't want to start in March. You want to start in April. It is available for you. But June, we don't even know what Trump is going to come up with by then. But then, I can also advise to secure your spot, and then we can work some things around it. Okay, what is the age limit for this? I've already said this. The least person who trade is 18 years, and the eldest person who trade was 67 years. So there's no really an age barrier in tech industry. 20 slots seems small for this crowd. Please reconsider. Well, Jeff, we'll have to also reconsider our staff strength because we have staff scattered across the globe. So we don't want to do something that will not mean that we have to be cutting down people's salary. So please understand us for that. We can only, financial analysts have told us they can only offer 20 spots for the discounted pricing. So please try to secure the option as fast as possible. Are this program beneficial to people in Caribbean? Tech skill is beneficial to everyone, everywhere. Is this for February or March cohorts? Okay, so the February cohorts have already started. The next one is for March. So in February, we're talking about March. Okay, so next one is starting by March 8th, which means that's when your own cohort is going to also start. Okay, Ayobami, I know what you listed. We need to have a conversation. Some courses not showing seats available. Does it mean, okay, the courses have retake if I fail? So Shayla, there is no exam, okay? I know you're asking, do the courses have retake if you fail? There is no exam. What we do is skill and practical based. And then we're going to offer you capstone projects, which enables you to work practically on things that you've done, okay? And the recorded version of the class is always available for you. It's a lifetime access that you're going to have. So what this means is that you can watch the recording, even if you want to watch it 1,000 times. I had someone that their set finished last year around November, but it was January this year that he finished his capstone. So what he did, because he had a little bit of family issues and stuff to do, so he had to now go through the recordings personally and finished it also. And we are here for you. If you are going through it on your own and they have constructive questions, you can always come to us and we'll answer those questions for you. Okay? What about software developers? So Gideon, we do not offer software development. If you joined earlier, we listed the reasons why we offer the courses we offer. The fastest growing jobs, the one that have ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high rewarding salary. Emeka, you've only spoken about the success bit. What has been the challenge on the student part and analytics, and what is the failure rate and why? Fantastic question, Samsung. So in all honesty, our success rate is 88%. That was for 2024 and beyond that, 88%, which means there are 12% of people that joined, but they were not able to get to the finishing line. And two things are always involved. There are little to what we can do for you. All right, so we are going to teach you the technical skill, give you the employability skill, and even have revision classes, drop-in sessions for you, and give you the recorded versions. But it is your responsibility to apply to jobs. So what we do on our own part is that we scrape some of the job boards that are paid for and give it to our students to apply to. We scrape job boards, the vacancies there, and give to our students to apply to them. But it is your responsibility to apply to those jobs. So we found out that most of those 12% are looking for people that will apply to jobs for them, because applying to a job is a job on its own. So it's also something I want all of us to know, that there is a path that we have to play with respect to this. We are going to do our part, and we believe and expect you to also do your own part. So Samsung, this is me telling you our own success and failure stories. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay? All right. I already have business analyst training. I'm only looking for internship. Can I register for that? Okay, fantastic, Adindi. All right. So when you send an email to the response that Elijah has given you, we'll give you a more response. Okay. So thank you so much. Not sure of which I want to sign up for. Can I just pay under any cost pending when I decide Yes, Tinola, that is what I've been saying, right? So you can select under any course and secure your spot, then upload your receipts. So what happens is that when you come for the clarity call, we are going to now look at your background and find a particular one that suits you. Okay, but most importantly, make sure you secure your spot so that the discounted price doesn't elude you. Okay, please, the attendance link, Elijah, you want to send the attendance link to the comment section for Equa. I would like to start by March, but I will be making installment payment before the end of second week of February. Fantastic, Carlo. That is a very good decision. Can I change method of payment at any time? Adi. So Adi, because the method of payment, okay, so what will happen to that is send an email to finance so that I'll have a better response to you. Okay, send an email to finance, but first, this is a secondary problem. The first issue, the primary responsibility is to secure your spot. Then we can now work around everything around what you are asking for. Is the course every Saturday of the month for the entire duration? What companies are available in the UK and how 12 months is going to be like in the UK? Ben. So Ben, the course is every Saturday. Like this Saturday, you're having a live session. Next Saturday, you're having a self-paced session. Okay. And then we are affiliated with Amdari. So Amdari is the company that we are working with. And what Amdari does is that because they play in the consulting space fully, they are going to now be giving you jobs that they are handling, projects that they are handling for you to also work on them. All right. So it gives you the opportunity to work virtually and also get all those experience that you need. Okay. Do the courses have a deadline of when to finish, or what if I don't finish on time? What we call, will the course expire? Shayla, it is a live session and you have lifetime access to the platform. So it is an 8-month plan and you're expected to work with everyone within that 8-month or 12-month plan. But even after that 8 months, you still have access to us. We don't cut off our students. In fact, we have an alumni community that is very, very strong than even the live community. All right. So after that, if you have questions, if you are watching your recordings and you are practicing what you've been taught, you can always come back to us and ask us questions. Okay. I'm seeing question. What's the difference between the 8-month plan and 12-month plan? Like I mentioned, both of them have 6 months classroom learning, but then the 8 months means you have 2 months internship opportunity, which means you can work on 2 projects. All right. But then the 12 months, you have 6 months internship opportunity, which means you have time to work on more projects, definitely more projects than the person of 2 months. Okay. Does the discount have to be full payment or the installment payment applied to it? So just paying one aspect of the discounted price gets you the spot, okay? So the instrumental payment secures that spot for you. It's not full payment. Okay, you can pay as little as 150 to get started, as little as 125 to get started, depending on the plan that you are looking for. I want to find out if the employer doesn't ask for verification from the candidates. Okay, so in software, so recruiters always come back to us to verify, which is where reference and recommendation letter comes in. All right, so we provide references and recommendation letter to them at any point that they come. Can you update on process of payment via your WhatsApp, Carlo? Carlo, we don't accept payment via WhatsApp. All right. Okay. I think I understand you. So someone is going to also share some of this link in the WhatsApp community for you to also have access to that. Emeka, second question: has all your students secured a job? You saw what I just mentioned, Samsung. We have 88% success rate. So there are people that have not secured jobs. Okay, I'm not going to come here and sugarcoat it for you that once you are done, you are going to land a job. No, because there's an effort from our own side and there's an effort from your own side. Okay, we are going to guide you, give you the technical skill, give you the employability skill to land all those jobs. And the truth is this, Samsung Flip 3. Sorry, I'm calling your phone name. That's what I'm saying here. The truth is this, the no's are going to call. Okay, there are some jobs that are going to apply to you that are going to tell you no. But it's now that perseverance to push for it that is going to get it to you for. For instance, even at analytics, there are some consulting roles that we push for, that we get no, and that clients get it and we don't get it. It doesn't mean that we don't know what we are doing here. It simply means that we need to push for the next one. So Samsung, not all our students have secured jobs, but our success rate is at 88% for 2024 entirely. Okay, I think I've gotten, okay, there are a lot of questions still here. Sorry, guys, we are roughly at 2 hours, 30 minutes here. and I may not be able to take everyone's question. You also agree with me that I have tried, but then please try and secure those clarity sessions. When you come into it, you have more people than myself, my team and everyone can be there to answer your question. So Damilola, a third party can pay for you, okay? Please make sure you book those clarity sessions so that we can also have personalized conversation. But most importantly, secure your spot, okay? Secure your spot. If you've not filled the attendance form, make sure you fill it so they have access to the slide and recorded version of what we said tonight, okay? So you can see all our achievements before now. These are places where our students work. I always tell people that our highest employer of labor is NHS. They're always carrying all our students, or our students are always going there. And it's simply because they always give visa sponsorship. And what I want you to know for is that even when you apply to some of these roles, some of them might come as contracts because some companies have been born before. Okay, so they might provide you with contractual roles that might be 6 months, but in the end, they provide you with some of those sponsorship that you're looking for. Okay, I've had a student that passed through here, data engineering. He got a contractual service after 6 months. They renewed it for extra 6 months and then offered him sponsorship as well. So some of them may not give you that what you're looking for at the initial point, just because they want to also test what you can also be able to give them. But when you have the technical skill, you can easily fly on any role that you get into. Some of these are also our impacts in the years before, how we've been able to help people. Last 2 years, someone went home with $8,000 from one of our hackathons. Last year, people also went home with $2,000 from our own hackathon, okay? But that's not what we're discussing today. Most important thing for you is, are you ready to gain those premium tech skills that you're looking for? If you are, jump on this journey with me, and in 6 months' time, we are going to see where you and I are going to end. So on behalf of my founders, Adeza Suleiman, my co-founder, Efemina Ipro, and also my amazing facilitator here tonight, Elizabeth Nana, I say a very big thank you to everyone for joining us from 8 p.m. West African time to roughly 10:28 p.m. West African time. Remember, what secures your spot is your first payment. So secure your spot and come into the program, and we're going to have a fantastic discussion. I can't wait to see each and every one of you come March 8th into the programs. Okay, cheers guys, and have a wonderful day ahead or a good night rest, depending on where you are joining us from. Bye everyone, and see you on the other side.